Yeah, over to you, Mr. Sunny. You can start by giving your brief on your business model. Over to you.
Absolutely. If you can allow me to share my screen, that will be great.
You can share it directly.
Perfect. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining in, and I am Sunny Vagela. I am the founder and CEO of TechD Cybersecurity Limited, which is running under a brand known as Tech Defense Labs. We have been in the business for almost 15 years now. So before I start my presentation, let me just give you a brief about our journey, which is very, very, very interesting. So I started at a very early age when I was only 16, 17-year old. I started as a consultant working with a couple of investigating agencies. I was the one who was solving cyber crimes for them. I was the one who has set up the first cyber cell in Gujarat back in 2006. So I come from the offensive security background. When I say offensive security, where people see the facilities in the technologies, I see the flaws in the technology. So that has been a passion, for me since my ninth grade. I used to find out problems. I used to report a problem to Yahoo, Google, Orkut, Facebook. So this is how my journey has started. Post the my engineering, which I have completed from Nirma University, I have got a chance to work with the couple of investigating agencies as the investigator itself. So I was a official consultant for the government of Gujarat for 2 years, back in 2010, 2008 to 2010. I got a chance to work on a couple of cybercrime cases as well, along with some of the infamous cases which took place in Ahmedabad and Bombay, which is 26/8 and 26/11. In 26/8, when these people were at, an Ahmedabad blast, when they were attacking, they were sending emails 15 minutes before of the bomb blast. And my job was to basically find out the trail of the email, find out the whereabouts of from where this people are sending an email, and ensuring that to find the culprit behind this particular the bomb blast. I've done that part, and then soon 3 months after 26/11 happened. In 26/11, when these people were attacking, I was the one who has been very instrumental in basically finding out the VoIP communications of this particular terrorist, or rather a transcript of this VoIP communication. So they have these phones given by some Indian counterpart when they have landed in India through a sea route, and they were getting calls from VoIP and from their handlers, based in some other country. So my job was to find out the informations, intercept the communications, and that's how my journey has started. I work with government for as a consultant for Ahmedabad and Bombay for almost 2 years. And 2010, we started as a tech defense brand. So we started as a training company because that those were the times people were not investing into cybersecurity. When you are reporting a problem to somebody, either you get some small bounty, or either you don't get a bounty, rather you get a legal notice from them stating that why did you touch my website or an application. So those were the time I realized that it was so challenging for companies like us to sell a cybersecurity services. So we have started as a training company. From 2010 to 2017, under a tech defense brand only, we have trained 55,000 people in India in association with IIT Bombay for 4 years and IIT Delhi for 3 years. So we were conducting an outreach program along with both these IITs. They were backing our certifications in against getting some royalty out of it. And we were conducting 8 hours, 16 hours, 40 hours of the stretch programs and the boot camps in corporate institutions and an educational institution across India. Because the awareness of cybersecurity was very low, we were successfully able to train 55,000 people till 2017, and I conducted more than 700 plus boot camps along with this IIT certifications under a name of HackTrack, which is, our flagship brand under Tech Defense, which was responsible for running these boot camps across India. Then I realized in 2017, because 2017 was a time when I reported a first problem to some of the largest companies, or rather largest conglomerate. I realized that no, this was the time people were giving a right response, and they were actually, welcoming us with the services, what we are actually providing. So we started Tech Defense Labs Solutions Private Limited. The company is now TechD Cybersecurity Limited. So this company started with the services vertical. We started with the first services of ours, which is the VA and PT services. When I say VA and PT, it is a vulnerability assessment and a penetration testing services. In this service, what we, in a layman's language, what we do is we basically find out loopholes or find out the open doors into company systems, companies network, and companies, the IT network. And then we tell them these are the open doors that you have in your systems. And in order to make sure that no hacker can come and hack those open doors, you need to patch it up. You need to close this open doors. So that's in layman's language a VAPT. In just 1 month of the inception, we have closed one of the first customer, and this first customer has got us almost 80 logos in just 1 year of the time itself. And the name of the customer was Adani Group. So we were able to successfully, demonstrate them certain of the open vulnerabilities, and they actually welcomed us, with one of the contract in just first month of inception itself. Because the largest conglomerate has actually, joined hands with us, we have got good number of customers, and company has been consistently reporting almost 100%, 80 to 90%, on an average, or in a certain years at 100% of the year on year revenue growth in past almost couple of years as well. Right now we are serving more than 500 customers. Slowly, gradually, we expanded into different of the services as well. So in 2017, we started with VAPT. In 2019, we started with our Security Operations Center as a service. So Security Operations Center is a 24 cross 7, 365 days a year security operations center where we monitor customers. And before a hacker come and hack them, we basically throw out of their system. So that's in a nutshell, you're deploying a 24 cross 7 security guards in the organizations to ensure that nobody can hack the organizations. And we maintain certain of the SLAs of detections and response in the security operations center. Then in 2020, we realized that India has a lot of regulatory bodies, and we started, as a compliance and advisory services, because most of the regulatory bodies like RBI, CB, IRDA, NPCI, they have come up with their own cybersecurity frameworks back in 2020. And those were the right time, we have started with our compliance and advisory services vertical. So compliance is more like an audits for the organizations that we do, and these audits are conducted with a one particular time to a multi-year, engagement with the customers as well. In all the services, what we are providing, be it finding out loopholes, which is more on a reactive services, or securing them 24 cross 7, or compliance and advisory services, and there are specialized services. We have the customer base which starts with one time engagement, and then what we do in our business is in 3 to 6 months of the time we convert it into a model which is known as a managed security services. So managed security services is something where we make sure that the customer outsource the complete piece, or rather a pillar of that one particular function of the cybersecurity of their organization to us. And right now, gentlemen, we have 500 customers. Out of 500 customers, there are 200 plus customers. They are with us on MSSP model. So we call ourselves into a category of cybersecurity known as MSSP, that is Managed Security Services Provider. So organization come to us and say that, hey, Sunny, we want to make sure that you handle a complete vulnerability management program for us. So let us take an example. Largest conglomerate has 20 business units. What we make sure in that 20 business units, that we make sure to deploy people, we make sure to bring in a technology, the tools, the required tool set, but a customer has outsourced us based on the SLA program to make sure the vulnerability management. So our job is to basically ensure that we find out problems, we talk to their vendor, we patch it up, and we repeat the same cycle throughout a year to make sure that the customer gets a threat-free business. In operations, which is 24 cross 7, we monitor the customer's organizations, and then we proactively block the hackers before the hacker is successfully able to hack systems. And in the compliance, which is also a MSSP model, we ensure that the customer comply with certain of these standard frameworks, which are mandated by RBI, CB, and many of the regulatory bodies, and at the same point of time, the international frameworks like ISO standards for the cybersecurity as well. So most of our customers start with a 1 year, one time of the engagement, but we make sure to do an upsell and cross sell and convert it into the yearly engagement on that particular part. So that's in a a shorter the way I have uh, given you the brief of how we provide our services. Uh, just wanted to if you can see the screen, Nityananji or Khilesh, if you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yes, yes. You can,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good.
So, just to give you, one more brief. So we established as a private limited company in 2017. Right now, we are having presence in Ahmedabad, we are having presence in Mumbai, and we are having a presence in Bombay. So these are the three major cities that we have a presence. But ideally, we say that we have a presence in more than 10 plus cities in India. That is a sales presence that we have in 10 different cities in India, divided into north, south, west, and the east cluster as well, right? We have started, we provide services to the government customers, we provide services to the enterprise customer. Also, we provide services to the startups and SME customers as well. So it is 8 plus years of, defending cyber attacks for the companies that we do. As on, this is a snapshot of FY 24-25. We were serving 370 plus customer, or rather we have served 370 plus customers, in FY 24-25. We have recorded a revenue of 29 crore 79 lakh rupees in FY 25, with an EBITDA margin which is highest than the average industry median. And I'll come to that as well, how we make sure to create maintain some of the highest margins of EBITDA across the industries as well. That is 40.48% of the EBITDA margins, is in FY 25. We have a comprehensive services folio. So customer comes with us for one-time engagement to a 1 year to a multi-year engagement as well. What is differentiating TechD is two things. The one is a strong OEM partnership. So we work with couple of OEMs to make sure that we have an exclusive partnerships, and we have some of these strategic partnerships with the OEM, so that we get the edge over the other of the competition, to make sure that to give a right price benefit to the customers and to give a right set of services to the customer as well. We have a security operations center, as I said, in Ahmedabad as of now, and we are expanding in a big way in Ahmedabad with the largest security operations center, that is the largest in Asia, very soon as well. Some of the key facts and figures till H1 FY 25-26, we have recorded a growth of 41%, increase in our revenue in H1 FY 26 compared to our last H1 FY 25. As far as the PAT is concerned, we have recorded 49% increase in our PAT margins, which is, in H1 FY26 compared to the H1 FY25, which is extending at 6.36 crore rupees of the PAT is what we have recorded. The revenue that we have recorded is 18.18 crore rupees, and that is in H1 FY 25-26. Let me tell you, gentlemen, we are H2 heavy business. So most of our customers have their renewal contracts either in the end of September, either in the end of the July is what we have, and so most of the revenues that we realize is always in H2, and this has been a past history that you can check it online. That we have an H2, which is one of the heaviest, the business that we get in the H2 as well. We also recorded 46% of increase in our EBITDA, which is standing at 8.50 crore rupees of the EBITDA that we have. What we are ensuring to, make sure in every single year, when we are adding number of customers, when we are adding number of more, the logos in our folio as well, we ensure that the renewal rate has to cross more than 90%. And this in H1, we have crossed the renewal rate, which is of 95%, and NPS, which is a net promoter score. So we've conducted a survey during our RHP and during our IPO time, that how many customers are referred by some other customers. And let me tell you that 96% of the net promoter score is what we have received. When I say 96, That means one customer is referring to some other customers and getting us five customers as well. And that is actually helping us onboard a new customers very fast, because the customer put a right set of word to other customers on our services quality and the services delivery and the timely, execution of this particular services as well. We have onboarded 90 new customers in this particular H1, and currently, oh, this was the old figure. I have updated my slides. Yesterday, we have published a new order book on NSE, and the new order book on NSE is 51 crore rupees of the order book is officially we have recorded on the NSE portal yesterday itself. So the order book currently stands at, this was the earning slides, so which has a 40 crore, which is in September. But right now it is 51 crore rupees of the order book that we have on our hand. And we regularly published our orders on NSE with giving a transparent communication to our investors of new orders that we are receiving as well. I lead the complete team across different continents as well as across India as well. My dad is having 38 plus years of experience taking care of financial management for the company as well. Vishnu Priya is having 27 plus years of experience. She is a director cybersecurity, taking care of our compliance and other verticals as well. Khilesh, who has joined this call, is a CFO having 12 plus years of experience in the financial management and making sure to have our right profitability and margins maintained. So it does not act as just a financial officer, rather he acts as the financial controller for a company as well. Nikhil is with the company since the inception of our company, and he is a vice president enterprise business, leading a complete sales team, and he's a rock star for us to generate the business and ensuring that we maintain the same set of a growth across the industry and across different of the regions as well. Mihir is our AVP training business, so he takes care of a training business as well. Let me just give you some of the glimpse about our IPO success. So we came up with an IPO of 38.99 crore in September. Our IPO has been subscribed 720 times, one of the highest subscription in the cybersecurity till now, or in IT, till now across the industry on an SME platform. We have got a subscription of, more than 18,632 crore rupees, and we got listed at 90% and closed the first day price at 385 rupees as well. What is differentiating us, that is most important, for everyone to understand, and why we are maintaining some of the highest amount of margins, across the industry. So when we started our services, cybersecurity is a vertical where getting the right amount of resources has always been a challenge. So when we started our services, we even realized that we are not getting the right set of resources. What we were doing till 2017 was only short-term training programs with couple of educational institutions. But when we started services, we started providing PAPT, we started providing managed security services for the customers, specialized services for the customers, security operations center, VAPT compliance, and even we have a customized program for our customers known as cyber program management. I'll give you a simple example of a cyber program management. So currently the customers base that we have, let's say out of 100 customer, we have a mandate across our company to convert 40% of this particular customers into a CPM or rather MSSP customer. So we go to a company, let's say Astral Pipes has been with us for almost like 6 years, or Astral Group or Astral Limited as a company which is into piping, which is into adhesive and most of the businesses will. You go and make sure that they outsource a complete piece of cybersecurity to us. When I say a complete piece of cybersecurity, it covers vulnerability management to find out the loopholes every throughout a year, and then make sure that they patch it up as per SLA. We do a compliance for that company, we do a security operations for that company, and to govern the whole program, we have a governance vertical in that particular program, which is a GRC in that program. So we create a customized program and make sure that the customer ticket size, which was 30 lakh rupees almost 2 years back, it has converted into 90 lakh rupees. And now in this financial year, it is converted into 1.8 crore rupees. So we make sure that how do we ensure to give a right customized program to the customers, which gives them an ROI on that particular program. And we make sure to take care end to end on that program. But while we are running all of this program, we bring in tools, we bring in resources, but how do we ensure to get the right amount of resources for us? So till 2017, we were doing a short-term program. We stopped short-term programs. We took a 2-3 years of the break. And now in the company, we started a training vertical back in 2020 during COVID time. That is a long-term training programs with many of the universities. So company has a revenue coming from services, which is almost 90%, and company has a revenue coming from a training vertical, which is a 10% also. So what we have done, gentlemen, we have created a curriculum of 1200 hours of cybersecurity, and we started with a BTech and MTech program, the bachelor's and master's program with the first university in 2020, that is Gujarat University, and we got approval by AICT in UGC. So it is an industry run programs running out of the university. And what we actually ask university that whatsoever the fees the students are actually giving, right, we should get at least 60% to 70% of the share out of this particular, the college. Right now, we are serving 7 such university. And let me tell you, we are creating the highest amount of cyber security professionals, from the West India, and giving not only for our company or generating not only for our company, for across India, for across different of the industries as well. We have two set of model running with university. The one is a sharing model. That means we completely take care of BTech and MTech programs on cybersecurity with the university, with the colleges. We get the share out of it as well. And the second model that we have is we deploy faculties, in the university, and we charge per faculty to make sure that they run the simple set of program. Let me give you one simple example of our customer, Parul University, which is based out of Baroda. We are actually serving 2,700 students in Parul University, are only and only studying BTech in cybersecurity and MTech in cybersecurity across all 4 years. What is the advantage of running this particular program? See, one thing we need to understand in cyber, there are recent statistics which says that there are 35 lakh people are going to be needed after the DPDP, after the lot of compliance framework which are coming in India. DPDP is a digital personal data protection bill which is just launched and the rules are just out, and which is making a cyber security mandate across all the industry, be it you are small or you are big. You have to comply with security and privacy guidelines of the government of India. But the DSCI statistics and many of the statistics say that India requires 30 lakh professionals every year, but India is not even able to produce 20 to 30,000 professionals every year as well. And let me tell you what we are generating right now. In all across university, there are more than 6,000 students who are studying different out of university as well. What company has been doing? Our company has taken a pilot project almost 2 years back. We have taken the students from this university, some of the bright students from this university, not out of the last years, but we started making them work for our company from their third year of the engineering. And trust me, it has actually given some of the best responses, for us. One, our service delivery has expedited. So the work that we were doing for our customers in 30 days of the time with 2 people, the manpower, because the customer has a ticket size which is X amount, we can only deploy 2 people to make sure we maintain our margins. Now we are able to deploy 4 people and making sure that we are completing all of this work in 7 days of the time itself. I'll give you an example of one of the largest, the chemical manufacturing company has given one of the contract, and the contract has been given and an LOI has been given with only and only one condition, to execute it within 10 days of the time. None of the companies in India were able to execute in 10 days of the time because the company has got 10 locations, 4 plants, and across 10 locations and 4 plants, we have to deploy 4 technologies, and then we have to manage 4 technologies throughout a year. For me, it was a billing of more than 2.5 crore rupees. How we have done it? We have sent 6 people who are our full-time people, and along with 6 people, what we have done is we have sent this 40 interns who are working out of this university for us, at all 10 different locations. And gentlemen, we have completed the project within 7 days of the time and recorded a billing of 2.5 crore rupees in the books of the account of the company, in the last year books of the accounts for the company as well. And that is the largest, the chemical manufacturing company across India, listed company across India as well. So how we are growing? We are growing at with two particular, objective. One is a cost, that whenever any sort of a big four or any competition is coming with the right price or some pricing, we make sure to give certain of the discounts on the pricing to our customers. That is number one. Number two is make sure to give a customer's confidence by stating them that we are going to onboard you on a complete vulnerability management program or a security operations center or a compliance services within a particular time frame. And this time frame is giving customer a right set of confidence that the other vendor is able to do it in 30 days of the time or 60 days of the time, but TechD is actually going to do it for me 10 days or 15 days of the time. That actually saves their money, that saves their, the compliance headache. And the third thing is it gives them a right set of return on investments of what we are doing. And that is only and only possible because of our university partnerships is what we are actually having. So what is a standard execution approach, that whenever we enter from 1 year, one time of the engagement, to a 1 year to a multi-year engagement, we basically understand the customer requirements, what they have, we define the scope, we do a tool plus resources, the combined delivery, right? Execute that particular thing for a customer, be it a VAPT or a compliance or MSSP, and then finally we give a knowledge transfer to our customers as well. Some of the major customers, if I talk about, this are some of the major customers base where we are getting good amount of revenue from all this particular customers, right? And then we have a lot of BFSI and regulated customers as well. Let me tell you, when we have got our IPO, one of the object of our IPO is to go global. We've already started expansion into UAE. We already started expansion into Middle East to make sure that the revenue numbers increases and the margins are sustained, or rather the margins are also increased, if not in the 1 year, but in the later coming years as well, with the model that we are actually running in India, but for the globe where we have higher margins and higher amount of ticket size of the revenue that is already coming. And yes, last year financials, we were having 15% of the revenue, which was coming from the international, the customers. And right now we are having in H1 21% of the revenue that is coming from the international revenue, that has completely resulted into the increase in the EBITDA margins as well. How we are again differentiating with our customers. So whenever any other companies or established MSSPs or some of the big fours are going into the customers, we go as a company, not as a consulting company, but we say that we have an R&D unit which has reported problems or which has issued 100 plus security advisories, and we are consistently coming into MSRC, which is Microsoft Security Response Center, top 100 hackers in the world as well. So because ultimately it's a cybersecurity, so the customer asks that what exceptional thing that you have done. We have 200 Hall of Fames for reporting vulnerabilities, reporting problems into Fortune 100 to Fortune 500 website. And across our all, the locations, which is Ahmedabad, Mumbai, and Pune, we have a bug bounty policy for our employee as well. So whenever they report a problem to any Fortune 100 to 500 website, whatever bounty they get, they should take that bounty. But company should also incentivize them because they are putting a name of the company, in those website as well. And that actually helps us to increase our research folio as well. We also wanted to say that we are ISO 27001 certified. We are SOC 2 Type 2 certified. We are a certain empanelment company for last 6 years. We have just renewed our certain, which is Computer Emergency Response Team of India. So in India, whenever you want to give us services, certain is a mandate, and people always expect to get services from a recognized cybersecurity company. We have extended for next another 3 years as well. We are also empaneled with NSE, BSE, MCX for all stock brokers and stock exchanges audits as well. And currently we are serving 200 plus stock brokers, PMS, AIF, VC, and other funds as a SEBI regulated registered entities as well. These are some of the awards and accolades as what we have got. Apart from this, I was also appointed by Ministry of Skill Development, Ministry of IT, to as an Indian ambassador for cybersecurity as well. This is just an industry overview, but let me tell you, industry numbers are increasing because of the regulations and because of the regulatory mandates which are actually coming across all this particular industry as well. So cybersecurity is basically a growing market. Coming back to our growth for this year and growth for vision for 2030. So this year, because we have reached to a certain stage, we require a lot of fund to basically go global. That's the reason we got our IPO. We are aiming for 40 to 50% of the growth. And let me tell you, gentlemen, we have already having the published order book and the customer's name and the orders published on the NSE poster IPO, which is crossing at 51 crore rupees, out of which we have already executed 18 crore rupees of the order book. We are going to expand into South Africa, the South India, East India. These are two regions we already expanded now. UAE, USA, we already started processing the company registrations over there and will be a wholly owned subsidiary of TechD Cybersecurity Limited. We always target to convert 40% of our existing customer into a managed security services. So when you give a one-time service, which is like audit or VAPT or anything, it will be like, one-time engagement. But when you convert a customer into an MSSP, it is like a marriage. They have to make sure to maintain their marriage for 1 year to 3 years. That is a minimum, time duration is what we ask from our customers. And those becomes a sticky, POs, or the customer becomes sticky with us for, years to come as well. We also at the same point of time expand our horizon with many of the OEMs. So we don't work with 10 OEMs, we work with 5 OEMs, but where we have a strategic association with all these OEMs as well. This is exactly what we do. Some of the key projects that are awarded post our IPO. So one of the largest conglomerate has awarded us the project to assess one of the largest solar plants in Gujarat, and that is situated in Khavda, which was a 1.07 crore rupees. We got one of the bigger contract of 75 lakh rupees for managed security operation center and application security for a year, which is 75 lakh rupees. The SOC renewal, which is done, and also the threat intelligence program that we have given for global IT organization, a listed company, which is of 1.7 crore rupees. As I said, currently we are approximately at 51 crore rupees. The specific number is 50.8 crore rupees of the order book is what we have. As on RHP date, which is in September, we were having 29 crore rupees of the order book. Right now, as on 31st of December, we have recorded an order book of 50.8 crore rupees, out of which in H1, 18.1 crore rupees is executed and 32.7 crore rupees, which is the in process, the execution is going to be there. When it comes to the split of the revenue, 45 crore rupees is what we are expecting from the, enterprise revenue, from the enterprise services customer, and training will be contributor of 5 crore rupees of the revenue as well. We also expanded in UAE, and trust me, the average ticket size of SOC customer or a managed security customers in India is around 1 crore rupees to 1.5 crore rupees. But when it comes to UAE or USA, the order size actually doubled, as well. So what we have recorded, while we were expanding there in UAE, and the person who was supposed to join our company, he has already closed one of the bigger accounts for us, and that is of a $1.5 million for next another 3 years of the time as well. And this particular contract, if you divide it into this FY 25-26, is of 450,000 rupees is the first year value, and out of which 2 crore rupees as on H1, which we already built. In H2, we are already going to build for another, the remaining amount. That is one of the largest, the SOC services contract that we have awarded post our IPO as well. Another, the foothold with the government. So when we got our IPO, one of the biggest link was the government, cybersecurity or the cybersecurity projects from the government. But let me tell you, apart from the order book that we have, I can tell you the sales pipeline, what we have developed, in the government cybersecurity or the cybersecurity for the different of the governments in India, that is of more than 90 crore rupees of the pipeline that we have already developed, which is to be materialized in the coming time as well. Right. So these are some of the awards is what we have won. how we are ensuring to maintain our margin. So in our company, we always have a process of 2:4. So if there are two full-time employees of L3 and L2 guys are going to work, there are four interns or four people who are going to come from our own university working for us, and making sure to do a service delivery also. But let me tell you, while they are working and coming and work, doing the service delivery for us, we are also generating a revenue from them as well, because they are paying their engineering fees and we are getting the share out of their engineering fees as well. While they are going to work for 2 years for us also, we do a lot of upselling for that students also, to certify them, to make sure to give them other OEM and other, the paid certifications also. And at the same time, we pay them a stipend also. So we recover the cost so that it does not become a burden on that particular company as well. We have a Zoho suite set up across all the companies. So from macro to micro level, we maintain our SLA with the customers, we maintain our productivity, and we maintain our PNL and map our PNL every single week to ensure that we maintain our margins and we retain our margins as well. So this is how we ensure to maintain our margins moving forward, as well. While we were growing, we have a lot of interns who are working. We realized there is a need of some of the right infrastructure for us, and this infrastructure becomes a key value for our customers to showcase and get some of the good projects for the coming years as well. So what we are doing right now, we are creating one of the largest infrastructure in Ahmedabad from our internal accruals. I again repeat, from our internal accruals, and that is IT SOC, OT SOC, vehicle SOC. It is a 60,000 square feet facility is what we are developing on a long leased land, is what we have taken for next another 15 years of the time, which will be subject to renew after 15 years as well. And we are spending money from our internal accruals to create this infrastructure and the SOC what we are creating, because our complete focus is going for MSSP and SOC services. That is the largest ever SOC in Asia, what we are creating, covering IT, which is information technology SOC, OT, that is operational technology. So we are going to monitor power plants, the SCADA systems, automation systems of the manufacturing plants as well, and the vehicle SOC, because everyone must be knowing the vehicles are getting automated right now, and all this vehicle also needs a security. So the days are very near when you see that vehicle will be stopped, or all the electric scooters are not working a fine day in the morning time, right? Or all your cars which are connected to an internet are not actually functioning in the morning. And we have successfully done the POCs with certain of the car manufacturers which are very famous in India. We have showcased them, these are the vulnerabilities, and now we are build a pipeline to convert them into our vehicle SOC mechanism. So per vehicle, we will have a cost to monitor them. It will be paid by the respective OEM. It could be MG, it could be Tata, Citroen, anyone, who we are talking to right now. And then we are going to monitor all the smart vehicles on our vehicle SOC as well. So this particular facility will be our GCC as well as the SOC facility is what we are developing. Coming to our vision 2030, in this year, we have decided to be in 5 different countries, but by 2030, we are going to be in 10 different countries. We will be catering to 2000 plus enterprise customers across the different regions. As far as the revenue scale up, we have taken a target, are targeting the revenue of at least $100 million with our MSSP and our product offering. The other what we are doing right now, we are only and only services company, right? But after IPO, what we have done is we started, I mean, while we are doing upselling, cross-selling with our customers, converting into managed security services, uh, there has been a question around by analysts, there has been a question around by our team, that there is a some amount of revenue which is going to OEMs, right? It could be SOC OEM, it could be, a threat intel OEM. How do we minimize this particular cost? So what we have done right now, we are evaluating or actively evaluating certain of the product startups. We have evaluated around 15 such product startups. Out of 15 plus product startups in this quarter, gentlemen, you will see there are 3 product companies we are acquiring. One is into a threat intelligence platform, which will be anti-phishing, anti-rug, dark web, deep web monitoring, takedown as a service, which is a mandate by RBI, SEBI, NPCI, and all regulatory bodies that uh, that all REs or registered entities across all this, needs to have such sort of a product. So we are trying to take all this product, which are either a pre-revenue companies or either making a revenue, but not more than 1 crore to 2 crore of the revenue they are making, to make them a part of a TechD cybersecurity ecosystem. So we'll not be called after this quarter as only services company, but will be a services come the product company as well. We'll have our product on Web3 security. We will have our product on the dark web, deep web, and the other monitoring threat intel. And third, product which we are doing with one of the Russian company. So it was very well in our RHP, which is defined that we have signed an MOU with one of the Russian listed company, or a first Russian listed company in on cybersecurity space in Russia. They wanted to come to India, but because of these sanctions, and they wanted to sell their product across the world, they are coming as a JV with a joint IP transfer, and we will have three of their products coming under our banner, and we will be acting as an OEM, getting and obtaining a whole of a Make in India certificate for it, and then selling this product across Indian and other continents through this Russian JV of that particular Russian company as well. The MOU details are already there in our RHP. You can actually refer to that details as well. And this is going to be a game changer because the company is pretty matured. It's a 200 million ARR company in Russia, 200 million USD ARR in Russia, and listed company in Russia with a more than $4 billion of the market cap what they are. But they are coming exclusively through our route in India, and will be their partner for selling the product under our name, under our banner, with the JV mechanism, is what we have said with them as well. But training is always going to be there, and I'm very well connected as through a training vertical, and making sure that we'll have 50 to 70 odd universities in next 5 to 7 years we are going to cater to. And we have a target of creating at least 1 lakh professionals across India as well. We also actively evaluating certain product on DSPM, which is data security posture management. That how do we and it is a mandate also by DPDP, right? So we started evaluating product on data security posture management. So you have an organization, you don't know where your data is, what sort of data stored at where, be it in database or computer or anything. Our product will be able to find out and make sure that it will be complied with the DPDP guidelines published by the government of India as well. DevSecOps, we are still evaluating. OT security, we are still evaluating. But those are still in the nascent stage. 3 product, we are in the final stage of negotiations with them and making sure to convert them as a part of this particular thing. So it is a very rare combination in the cybersecurity industry across India, or at least a listed company, that we, are not just a services company, but will be a product company in the coming quarter itself, right? So with this, I should say thank you, Mr. Nityanand, for organizing it, and I'm keeping the floor open for the Q&A.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sunny. Hope I am audible to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we will take the questions from the chat. Okay. So I have few questions myself. Okay. So we will start those. So you mentioned the current order book is around 51 crore, right?
Absolutely,
So
yes.
when you say order book, right? So how that order book execution happens actually? Because you mentioned also mentioned that whenever the customer gets onboarded, you are able to onboard the customer in 10 to 15 days only, right? It's whenever the
Absolutely,
requirement
yes.
comes from the
Yes.
customer side. So how you maintain that order book specifically? Can you highlight that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you an example, which is very, and we believe in very transparent communication. So if you see all the orders that we have published on NSE, post our IPO as well, it has a customer name also attached to it, right? And I don't mind naming a customer, which is a JM Financial customer. When this customer came to us, the customer was with one of the big fours, and they were managing their SOC services, right? They were managing at an X cost. While the customer came to us, the customer wanted to outsource their complete application security portfolio. They also wanted to outsource their security operations center. Application security not across only one or two BUs of JM Financial, but the whole of the group itself, right? Now, while they came to us, one is, the customer needs to be onboarded on a specific OEM, right? When you want to manage the vulnerability management, you need to have a tool plus the resources combined delivery to be done to it. So we have onboarded all their, the assets on our vulnerability management platform or the OEM platform in like 5 to 7 days of the time. That's number one. Number two is when it comes to SOC, transitioning from existing vendor to our vendor, integrating all the log sources on our OEM and make sure that we start monitoring, to that customers. That happens in 10 days of the time. I hope Nitin and I does answer that question, right? So we have
Yeah.
onboarded all their 300 plus devices, onboarded existing log from their tool to our tool in 10 days of the time. So while we are doing onboarding, we have a very good billing model with the customer. We say that what you have to do is you have to pay for licensing plus some implementation cost as a very first time while the onboarding is all done. That's where the whole competitiveness is coming into a picture. While they go to any other vendor, they transfer from, let's say, Splunk to a Securonix, right? They take at least 3 months of the time. They take at least 2 months of the time, 4 months of the time. Here, what we are doing is we onboarding them from there to our SIM in like 10 days of the time. So we have almost like 50% of the billing of the licenses plus implementation is already done in this particular billing. The rest of the 50% is divided into quarterly advance payment for our customers, right? For SOC or for application security services. So they have to pay quarterly advance for services what they are going to utilize or the resources what we are going to deploy into it. That makes the execution of the order book very successful for us. I hope does that answer. I hope that answer your
So,
question.
so you mean to say the quarterly payment which you are receiving, right? So this when the customer gets onboarded, he will be onboarded for a lifetime, right? That means until the time he stays on your platform, SOC platform. So
So
he will
ideally
be
we
paying
sign up.
specific.
Ideally we sign up 3 years of the lock-in with the customers, right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, with the
So
yearly
so
renewal of the PO.
got it, got it. So the order book which you are mentioning, right, the 51 CR, so that will be the order books or the orders which you will be getting till March, am I right? Or the H2 FY26. And again, those orders, because these are the quarterly payments, those orders will be or the payments will be coming after that as well. Am I right?
The very, very good question that you have asked, Nityanand. So out of 51 crore rupees of the order book, we are pretty confident that we'll be able to close at least 48 crore rupees of the order book closed in H2 FY26 as well.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
got it.
correct. The rest
Uh,
other, we have not included orders which the customer has given for 3 years, customer is given for 4 years. If I actually calculate that order book, it becomes very high order. Yeah,
Got it. Got it. So you are only considering the orders which are going to come in next
absolutely.
quarter,
Absolutely.
2 quarters, right? Or
Absolutely.
H1 or
Absolutely.
H2. Got it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Got
Yeah.
it. So during the presentation, you mentioned CPM, right? I think Cybersecurity Program Management. Am I
Correct.
right in that sense?
Correct.
So what exactly is CPM? Can you just highlight that?
So see, not all organizations are able to afford CISOs. While the CISO is becoming a mandate for organizations to be there, we go to organization, we say that there is no point that you hire a CISO because you are not at that state that you hire a CISO. Because even if you hire a chief information security officer, you are anyway tend to pay 30 to 40 lakh rupees salary to that CISO. CISO is not going to do any task. CISO will be, giving this task to almost, 10 other vendors as well. So I'm talking about those customers where they have 500 crore rupees turnover to 1000 crore rupees turnover, but they are resistant. They are in manufacturing sector. They are on those sector where they do not have understanding on cybersecurity. So we go tell them that there are 4 pillars of the cybersecurity. The first pillar is assurance and compliance. So in assurance and compliance, we basically create all the documentations of the cybersecurity policy, processes, create a training calendar for their organizations, doing a breach and attack simulations across all their business units, do the DR drill. So in assurance compliance is all about audits, right? All about making sure to create a calendar for audits, create a calendar for maturity assessment for the organization, create a roadmap to follow for 1 year to 3 year of the time span. So it acts like a CISO, virtual CISO kind of a thing, that the organization gets all policy, process, trainings, posters, newsletter, LMS. DR drills, breach attack simulation, phishing simulation, ransomware simulations, and there's a calendar that we define for it. The second is, vulnerability management. So we onboard their assets on our, the vulnerability management, platform. We make sure that all their application security, all their network security, all the network VAPT or the cloud VAPT calendar is defined. So certain organizations say that I want to do it every quarter. In certain organization, if they do not have budget, they do it every 6 months. So there is a calendar for it. Security Operations Center, we basically onboard their assets on our SOC, monitor them 24 cross 7. And in the governance, we basically set up a ticketing systems because all organizations cannot afford a GRC like ServiceNow or some of the largest GRC system. We set up a ticketing system, deploy a governance guy, and we combine all of this 30, 40 odd services into a one program known as Cyber Program Management. And under the Cyber Program Management, we say that this guy will be acting as a one point of contact between your organization, my organization, your vendor, and our people, and your, the CIO and IT heads which are available in the organization, and execute this calendar throughout a year very smoothly on that part. So customer does not ask which solution we are bringing in. The customer is more inclined towards the SLAs, what we are maintaining, and the execution of the services and the quality of that particular services. That has taken a company to a next level. And every single year, we target out of 100 customers of our 40 should be converted into MSSP or 40 should be converted into our cyber program management. And because of the mandates which are increasing and there is a regulatory pressure which is coming on many of the companies, trust me, we are able to successfully convert all of this customer into a managed security. So Astral Pipes, 2 years, 3 years back, they were paying only 33 lakh rupees. Let me tell you, I'm putting a numbers as well, right? Then it has converted into 60 lakh. And this year we have recorded a revenue or recorded a complete, the PO of 1.91 crore rupees, right? So this is how they are converting because they have outsourced first vulnerability management, uske baad SOC diya. Now we are combining all of this vertical and giving as a one piece of service to the customer as well. I hope does this answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, I got that. The next question is, so you have mentioned that right now the software part which is there or the product part is negligible, right? But in future you are planning to add that. So what is the current percentage of the product revenue versus the MSSP or the services revenue, and what will be maybe next year or down the line 3 years? Can you just highlight that?
So Nityanandji, company has a policy, or TechD has a policy for last almost 7 years. We do not sell only and only product, right? If there is an opportunity, says that we need to give, let's say a CrowdStrike, or we need to give, let's say X firewall, we do not indulge into those deals. We are only and only getting into those deals when there is a product component along with there is a service component of a staff augmentation or a services, where the product component is should be only of a 30% and service component should be of a 70% to make sure that we make the real profits. Because as you know that the product market or the SI market in the cybersecurity has become so much cluttered market, right? And if you just sell a product, you can't even able to make 5% of the margin. Customers nowadays, big customers have got RAs and reverse auctions and other thing. Even sometimes people or SI take the order of 1%. We do not take those order which is just and just selling the product. If I've taken an order, let's take an example, I've taken order of a CDSS which is already published on the NSE website of a DSPM. I will give my product of the Forcepoint DSPM. At the same point of time, I will actually have a 60% of the revenue which is coming from a services. And services, that margins are really, really, really high on that. So I go to a customer and say that even if you take a DSPM, your work is not done, right? Because you really require a person to basically ensure to mandate your compliance, meet that compliance, and also at the same point of time, manage all of this activities of across your DSPM, your all stakeholders internally, your vendors, everything. And then you get a one single dashboard, every month or every 15 days or fortnight, whatever you expect. So I sell product, but I sell product along with 60% of the service revenue. That's only we do as a tech D. We do not sell only and only product.
Okay, got it. But my question was, what is the percentage currently, and what will be the percentage maybe down the line 3 years? As you are acquiring those startups, right? You
Acha, okay.
mentioned.
So you're talking about this product startups. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were asking on the SI part of it. Yeah, all right. So currently, there's three startups what we are talking. One is on Web3 security, second is on the threat intelligence, and the third is on the Russian thing, which is an NDR product, network detection response product, and OT cybersecurity SIM product is what we are acquiring. The product and service revenue will be 50-50% split, not immediately in FY 26-27, but you could see after 1.5 years.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So you mentioned about this order of 1.5 million, right? Which you have got across EMEA or Europe. So
That
what
is
will be
in
the
UAE.
percentage? UAE, yeah. So what will be the percentage of that order which will be coming in this year? Can you just highlight that?
Sir, as I said, 2 crore is already built in H1.
Okay.
Another 2 CR is to be built in H2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for next financial year, it is again going to be 500,000 US dollars.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. The next question is from Ashish Rampuria. The question is related to the H1 and H2 billing, right? So you mentioned that your H2 will be heavy compared to H1. So
Correct.
why is it like that that H2 will be heavy? Because cybersecurity will be a requirement for all the companies, right? So why the H2 will be heavy in that sense? Can you just highlight?
Sir, you're 100% right, sir. Most of the customers, those who are with us for almost one time, two time, or three times, we converted them into a managed security services customers during the course of time. While during the course of time, most of our enterprise customers issue a PO because their budgets are decided in the month of April, right? But the budgets, so Nityanand ji, you must be very well be knowing the budgets are released by end of May or end of or starting of June as well.
Hmm.
So most of the time we do an upselling or cross-selling. We start doing it from February or month of initially we were doing it from April, but now we started with February and other things. So most of our POs what we are receiving is in the month of June for the managed services. So if you look at June, right, ideally we only have a 1 quarter billing, but highest amount of billing from that customer is coming in the H2 itself. That is number one. Number two, our training also has a contribution of the revenue in the whole of a revenue book. Last year, training revenue was 5 crore rupees. Services revenue was 25 crore rupees. This year, service revenue has increased. The training revenue has become constant or it has become the stable. The same thing because we have not onboarded much of the universities post our IPO. And we cannot onboard because it has to be from an academic year. Now, academic year starts from June to June. It cannot start from April to March, right? So when the academic year start in the month of June colleges में admissions खत्म होता है, जुलाई में बंदे आना चालू होते हैं 15th of July से, and ideally जो first semester होता है वो जुलाई से लेके September and October तक. So that is the reason the highest amount of training revenue which is also coming is in H2. I hope does that answer your question. But what we have done with all this university, हमारा जो जून टू जून का बिलिंग था वो हमने चेंज करवा दिया कि जून में भले स्टार्ट करते हो, अप्रैल में वैसे छुट्टी आती है तो यू शुड कंप्लीट योर बिलिंग बाय मंथ ऑफ मार्च so that we have the revenue recorded in this particular March month itself, right? So that is the reason that we have the H2 heavy, the business. But what you
Okay.
rightly said, it should be 365 days of the business, sir. We started preparing for our next financial year from December itself, so that we are not going to lag behind, this H2 thing. We'll have a equal split between H1 and H2 in the coming time as well. So how do we compete with Big Four? So as I said, two ways. One is a cost and second is a speed. I go to my customer and say that आपका लास्ट एसओसी जब आपने ऑनबोर्ड किया था तब कितना टाइम लगा था? बोले सनी दे हैव टेकन 3 months ऑफ द टाइम, आई पेड फॉर 3 months, आफ्टर मेरा मैनेज सर्विसेज स्टार्ट हुआ, उसके बाद फाइन ट्यूनिंग हुआ. सर व्हाट इफ आई डू इट इन 10 days ऑफ द टाइम, व्हाट इफ आई डू इट इन 5 days ऑफ द टाइम? द कस्टमर, द केमिकल कस्टमर आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, दे वांट टू, if I go little technical, they want to have EDR solutions, they want to have a zero trust solutions, they want to have a PIM PAM solutions, and they want to onboard their all assets on SOC as well, on my SOC, right? Trust me that इतना 10 लोकेशन उनके डिफरेंट लोकेशंस है और 10 लोकेशन के अंदर अगर इनको ऑनबोर्ड करना है, नित्यानंद जी, if because you come from technical background, I may just ask you, how much time does it take for any of the partner to get this particular thing onboarded?
It takes at least 2 to 3 months.
It takes at least 2 to 3 months. Wait, let me share a picture. So if you can see a picture on my this thing, this is a people who are going in the bus. So मैंने क्या किया, मैंने अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में गया और मेरी यूनिवर्सिटी में से मैंने 40 जो मेरे एमटेक वाले बच्चे थे उन सबको में जो अच्छे अच्छे बोलने वाले कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स वाले थे उनको लिए। आई हैव माई 6 पीपल, उसमें से 3 लोग मेरे L3 थे और बाकी मेरे जो 3 लोग थे वो L2 थे। आई हैव सेट अप द हॉटलाइन फॉर 24/7 बिकॉज द कस्टमर हैज गॉट अ ransomware attack and they want to implement everything within the short span of time. While the customer was talking to all the big fours as well, I said my customer that आपको जितना टाइम वो देते हैं ना सर, उससे मैं डिवाइडेड बाई 2 टाइम में कर दूंगा, बिकॉज मुझे तो क्या करना था, मुझे नंबर ये मल्टीप्लाई करना था। On the other side, the OEM, I can name it also, CrowdStrike tha, Zscaler tha, the Securonic SIM tha, and the fourth one was BT, Beyond Trust tha. सर मैंने चारों OEM से बात करवाए, चारों OEM के ट्रायल टेनेंट रन करवाए, उनके प्री सेल से बात करवा के, उनके जो L&D टीम से बात करवा के मैंने ये बच्चों की ट्रेनिंग करवाई। एक बच्चे को 1 2 3 4 सिखाया, दूसरे बच्चे को 5 6 7 8 सिखाया, थर्ड बच्चे को मैंने 8 9 10 11 सिखाया। सारे को सारा नहीं सिखाया, आपको खाली इतना करना है वहां जाके। And sir, what we have done is created that ecosystem in 2 to 3 days of the time. And पूरी बस भर के मैंने 10 लोकेशन पे भेज दिया है। And trust me, Nityanand ji, they have onboarded all their assets, right? And onboarded all their assets by installing agents within 7 days of the time itself, right? So the best part of a company is कि 7 दिन में कंप्लीट हो गया तो 10 दिन में मैं 2 2.5 करोड़ का बिलिंग भी कर सकता हूँ कस्टमर को। एंड देन फाइनली मेरा सर्विसेज बिलिंग स्टार्ट होगा where my remote team can actually support on that. So that's how we are bidding on Big Four, because we are a talent generation engine, and the talent that we are generating is uncomparable, across industry, across all the other Big Four is what they are not able to do. And this sort of model we are replicating into other states as well.
Okay, got it.
We do not see any threat, because of AI, but rather we are complementing our services with AI with creating our own SOC agents. So right now, some of the OEMs we are having exclusive tie-up. There are two OEM. One is Securonics and second is Sekion for SOC. ये दोनों OEM we have spatial pricing, ये दोनों OEM we have spatial priority which are given, and many of the deals which are given by OEM to us as well, right? We do not see any threat for AI, rather we generate a lot of agents to automate some of our tasks as well. So when I thought of creating my SOC of 230 seater, I was saying my team 1 year back, जाके हम create करके we were able to serve 500 customers, but now I am telling my team will be able to serve 2000 SOC customers. The current SOC customers which are standing at 157 of the SOC customers we are serving.
Okay. The next question is from Hitesh. Why are these margins so high compared to the competitors or the system integrators which are there in the cybersecurity
So
vertical?
2:4 ratio है मेरा. So like if there are 2 people full time, the 4 people are going to be my apprenticeship people who have started doing things in my company from third year of the engineering itself. And given this services will be system integrator start करेगा. Sir, I think there are a lot of system integrators. They have given a try and they failed heavily because uh, there's an ecosystem is what we have created, and it is not that we are in the training business for last 1 or 2 or 3 years, sir. We have been in the training business, which is a legacy for us for 15 years of the time itself, right? So if they think of such sort of an ecosystem, it will still take a time. Rather, I would actually give you one more interesting example. There was a one system integrated, a listed company, system integrator or come distributor. They have recently given us a contract or outsourced the contract for implementation of the services for certain of the solutions because of only two reasons. Okay, TechD will onboard within 30 days of the time, right? And even their team will not be able to onboard in 30 days of the time. So TechD 30 days में onboard करेगा. Because of that reason only they have given us implementation contract. So I see that there's a lot of synergies with system integrators that we already have. We already started signing MOUs with many of the system integrator, many of the core banking solutions provider, making them a partner, and even telling OEM also that you leave the services part, implementation part, let our team take care of it. And there is a rate card that we are signing with them also, so that we really do not matter how much they charge to their customer, but we are going to execute our rate card with all the system integrators and all those partners to make sure that we gain the business from them through the partnership, maintain the same margins as well. Yeah.
Got
So
it.
you're 100% right. AI will be advancing, and VAPT or SOC का major चीज AI कर लेगा. But sir, in VAPT we do not believe in completely automation. If the organizations are just going for completely automation tools and everything, you see a lot of bad news of the organizations coming on that as well. So on the VAPT front, the manual intervention is still required to make sure that even the attacks happening through AI or the automation which is being done by AI, it need to have a manual intervention. That is number one. Even in SOC also, sir, SOC will be having, I mean, there are a lot of AI based XDR, AI SIM, even Securonix has now got, a lot of SOC agents as well. That's actually mm, easing the task for the SOC analyst, so that while we are deploying 4 people, now we are able to do the same task by one person, but doesn't mean that there's a human component will go out of this particular whole, the game. So that's still going to be there. And yeah, let me tell you, because of this AI, sir, in H1 we have cut down our cost by 20%. So we have cut down some of the resources which are not required, so that is again help a company to achieve more margins.
Okay, got it. In terms of competitive landscape, already the sector is in, there are tailwinds which are there in this sector. But again, can you help us understand overall competitive landscape? I mean, so whenever you are bidding for a specific RFP or for a specific SOC bid, so what is the probability of winning that bid? Means out of 10 bids, how many bids you are winning and how many you are losing?
So Nityananji, government was one of the. I'm talking about two perspective. One is an enterprise RFP and one is on the government RFP. Till our RHP stage, government was a very less contributor in our revenue. But during our RHP stage and IPO stage, we have recruited a team which is a dedicated team for bidding, pre-sales, and everything. For the regular RFPs, for one-time audits or one-time assessments or anything, we are bidding for, let's say, 100 of the contracts, but out of 100, because of uh, the good number of people in the certain list, we get around 10 out of it, right? And that's a cost, based on it, L1 that we generally do it. But that's a separate team. We are having those interns converted into full-time employee and they do their own task, right? What company has built over the time for government sales pipeline of 10 plus $1 million, which is a pipeline that is already built, and soon we are pretty confident that we'll be able to materialize this particular pipeline into a right set of order book in the coming quarter itself, or in maybe in this quarter itself. So that is only and only because of focusing on specific, the RFPs which has a resource component. So let's say Gujarat is coming with Cyber Center of Excellence, same like Maharashtra Cyber, right? Wherein there is a requirement of 195 resources, and then there's going to be 80 resources to be given on a PPP model. So I would only bid for those contracts where I have a pretty confident that I'm going to win it. Number one, I'm eligible for all the criteria that are already defined, and I have a right set of licensing which is already done with sort of a government other departments as well. So I would not go for those reactive approach of just bidding for all contracts and then going forward for it, right? And this sort of cyber center of excellence idea is not there only and only by Gujarat, but it will be replicated by other of the states as well. But I'm more bidding for those only contract where there's a resource component, there is a service component to it. So chances of me winning this contracts is very high because of two reasons. Is that in all these RFPs and all these bids, when any of the vendors are writing that in how much of the time you'll be able to deploy these resources, if they're writing 45 or they have a 30 days of the window, TechD is able to deploy 15 days of the window. We just awarded one of the contract from Ruger SIL Private Limited. SIL is the Saraswat Infotech Limited, acquired by Ruger, and the company is Ruger SIL Private Limited. They, because the company got acquired, they have done a restructuring and they were requiring a lot of cybersecurity resources because they serve 80 other cooperative banks through their core banking and other solutions. Sir, we have awarded a contract of 2.16 crore rupees, but only and only with a condition, on the LOI is the deployment of the people should be done within 10 days of the time. And that's where we are winning this particular whole game.
Okay, good. One question is the contract value which you are getting, right? Is it is in lakhs? What is the average ticket size of these orders which will be there?
Sir, we getting orders. One is enterprise order, which is of a big ticket size. I have displayed the orders on the screen, which are enterprise order. We serve a lot of small customers also. So we have 200 plus SEBI registered entities also, which are pretty small. So they have SOC contract of 4 lakh, 5 lakh rupees. But if you calculate all our customers, then average ticket size of the order right now, it is of 6.5 lakh rupees per customers, which we are trying to ensure it to take it to a 10 lakh rupees per customer.
Okay.
Yeah. Please explain the competitive, sir. I think that is already
Yeah,
answered.
yeah.
Yes.
The
I
next
think
question is
on
for
a
a
fixed
fixed
asset.
asset.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So, sir, अभी हमने अपना जो RHP था, if you read our prospectus, sir, we have done a groundbreaking ceremony of our SOC operation center on the 6th of December, sir. And we started construction of our SOC from our internal accruals, in the month of December itself. Post 6th December, the things have started. So in the H2 balance sheet, sir, you will see that asset value which is coming on that particular. Till that time, we are on a rented premises and only the asset is 3 crore, which is our computer, laptop, router, switches, and our servers and other things, sir. Right. So this will be reflected in this H2 balance sheet, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope,
Uh,
Ketan,
oh,
that does answer your question.
we can get that input
Sure.
at later stage. Yeah. What is the total number of employees, and if you can highlight what is the attrition rate which you are
Sir,
doing,
as on RHP, we were at 160 people. Right now, we are at 191 people in the organization.
and what is the attrition rate?
Attrition, sir, it is pretty high in cyber. You
Hmm,
must be knowing that, right,
hmm,
sir?
hmm.
It is almost 30% of the attrition rate is what we are managing right now.
Okay. Okay.
But
Uh,
because of the talent pipeline, sir, it does not have much of an impact. So, because there are people in the pipeline who are ready to join us as well.
Yes, and as I also want to add something. As we are the service industry, and we are means our employees are a asset for us. So in service industry, there is many crunch for the employees. Means attrition rates are always high, but currently we have almost 25 to 30% of attrition rate, and we are trying to minimize this. And you will see the effect in second half that we have properly means managed this, and we are very positive about that.
got it.
Yeah.
So the next question is from Mr. Hitesh. You mentioned that the overall ticket size for the international customers is on the higher side compared to India. So what are the reasons behind it?
So that's what I said in my, the discussion, right? The average ticket size for SOC is 1 to 2 crore rupees in India, provided it's not a larger SOC or anything, because the Indian market has been a competitive market, even right now, with many players are in the game as well. The mandate rates, man-month rate of the services, in UAE or in USA is pretty high, sir. Right. And because of which the ticket size across the out of India or the global is higher compared to this particular thing. Second is कि margins हम ज़्यादा क्यों बना पा रहे हैं? Because sir, my cost of delivery is from India and I'm sitting in Ahmedabad, which is still having a resources cost which is very low compared to the other part of Bangalore, Pune, or the other things as well. So that is the reason our margins are very high on those global revenues, and global revenues are also very high, right? Mandate cost in India is for cybersecurity resources only 15,000 rupees, But there the mandate cost is $500, which is resulting into 45,000 rupees per mandate for any single sort of services that I provide for per resource per mandate over there, right?
Okay.
I think, sir, this Hitesh Bhai ka question is also answered. We
Yeah,
recognize
yeah,
revenue after
yeah.
contract. So
So,
multi-year contracts are, it's a yearly renewal. We basically ensure that we take license cost post implementation. Service component is divided into quarterly advance revenue for all of our customers. Initially, it was end of quarter. Some customers were paying every single month. And certain customers were paying at 6 months also, but we have changed for all of our customers. It has to be quarterly advance. Otherwise, we'll not be working for our customers to make sure our debtor days goes down. Yeah.
Yes, and yes, and for the means accounting purpose, we follow AS9, which is for like revenue recognition, and as per that, we book revenue which belong to the particular quarter, not whole PO value, which belong to the particular quarter, which we book only that value, and sometimes it if not is defined properly, so we book value. We depend on the milestone we have achieved for the particular financial year.
okay, got it. The next question is from Mr. Ashish Rampuria. So, can you throw some light on the key management personnel you are having apart from you, and how is the org structure currently in TechD?
Great, sir. So, sir, in each of our vertical, which is vulnerability management, security operations center, the compliance advisory, and the specialized services vertical, sir, uh, we are having team leads, then L2, L3, L2, L1 analyst. Above team lead, there is a assistant manager, then the manager, then a senior manager, and a director for each of the vertical is what we have started hiring post our IPO. Director हमारे पहले नहीं थे. We have now a director for our compliance vertical, director for our SOC vertical. We have a director for our vulnerability management vertical. That's an org structure that we have. I take care of a complete sales team. So below me, there are different regional sales directors. And in this regional sales director, there are VP, AVP, and then the respective, the manager enterprise business is what we have. As far as HR structure is concerned, it's a pretty simple structure. We have an HR head, which is playing a role of a journalist, and a recruitment manager. And then there are set of, 2 to 3 HRs, given task of at least 50 people to manage, each of the HR as managing as per different locations on that part as well. And then there is an IT support team, which is just having 2 people staff as of now, right? So the structure is like there are different directors, and then there are senior manager, manager, assistant manager, and then we have the other L3, L2, and L1 analyst staff as well. So.
Okay, got it. The next question is from Mr. Nitin. So he's asking if you are planning to be a OEM for OT security or grid security in next few years.
Sir, there is no compulsion to become an OEM in OT security to start providing OT security services, sir. We already started with OT security services with power sector guidelines or the power sector mandates by Ministry of Power, which is already there for doing gap assessment for certain of the solar plants. I have just shown one of the project which is awarded by the largest conglomerate to do an OT security assessment for the largest solar plant which is situated in Gujarat, right? So what assessment and audit ke liye we don't have to be an OEM because it's more a services component, I guess. But once the gap assessment is done based on 62443 guidelines, or once the customer gets the whole of a maturity roadmap and the customer says, okay, I want to implement certain of the solutions, then we already have a tie-up with some of the major players in the OT security. We basically pitch their solutions. Only thing difference which is going to happen after the quarter, because the Russian company, we already signed an agreement, an MOU, their solution will be part of our offering as well, but will not stop offering other OEM solutions and services along with that as well, right? So it is not necessary that we need to become an OEM to get this particular order. We already doing the OT security assessment, but a gap assessment, maturity assessment, and then helping them with the right set of documentation and patching them the loopholes or the gaps which are actually there in this. What is the revenue mix for public and private? I didn't understand this question. If you can just please reframe this
So is
question
it
for me.
if you can share us the mix of revenue for government and for enterprise as well as the BFSI or non-BFSI. So if you are already
So
doing that.
currently, you could say that by H1, our government was a weakest factor for us because we have started putting effort on the government business by this financial year itself. That's why we build a pipeline, but government is still not having that sort of a revenue in our revenue books. It's all a private revenue, I can say that, but government will have a mix in the revenue thing, which could be at least 60% as enterprise and 40% would be a government in the coming time. Post this pipeline will be materialized into the right set of order book in the coming time. Revenue mix within the industry, so BFSI contributes a lot of things because of the regulations and as a certain empaneled company. We also prefer to work with the sector which is regulated one as well. So I would say that if you ask me, out of 100 rupees of the revenue that we achieve, the BFSI contributes the 60 rupees of the revenue, 40 rupees is the non-BFSI revenue, which is enterprise and other things as well. Yeah.
Okay.
What
So the
percent?
next question is from Ruchit Shah. So
Yeah.
what percentage of students who study from Talent Factory are hired? So suppose if there are 100 students through universities which are getting educated through you,
Mhm.
what percentage of it gets hired by you?
तो सर पहले तो हमें समझना है कि हम उनको पहला हायर करते ही नहीं है, तुरंत हायर नहीं करते, पहले वो थर्ड ईयर से हमारे लिए काम करते हैं। तो आइडियली हमें उनके 2 साल तो मिलते हैं, राइट, बिकॉज दे थर्ड ईयर एंड फोर्थ ईयर दे आर वर्किंग फॉर अस, राइट. Post that, we issue a PPO, which is, I mean, we generally issue a PPO जब वो 6 months उनका बाकी होता है. That's a pre-placement offer to the people. So last year हमने और starting of this financial year हमने 2025 बैच के लिए हमने 44 ऑफर रोल्ड आउट की थी. बट नित्यानंद जी वुड बी सरप्राइज्ड कि 44 में से the number of people who have joined us are only 2021, because rest of the other people have got some more higher offers than us and they're into some good companies as well. But we do not have any difference, and that does not make any difference to us because we have other people already working from the other batch working for us as well, right? Sir, the average revenue I already said, and average salary per employee is around 40 to 45,000 rupees. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Uh,
NPS survey was
NPS
done
score.
for around 60 odd customers, sir. Right? So
Okay.
the
Okay.
sample was of 60 odd customers. Yeah.
Yeah. And as a reference for Vision 2030, so what is the revenue split you are looking at for the organic revenue as well as the acquisitions which you are planning to do in near future?
So the way we are growing will ensure to maintain the same sort of a growth. So if you look at that same sort of a growth, I'm sure the organic would be at least 40-45%, and the acquisition will have its own say, the rest of the other things.
Okay. The next question is from Mr. Ashish Rampuria. So you've already forayed internationally, right? So what is the game plan, or if you have any strategy for it, you can highlight, and who will be the competitors in that, and what will be the right to win in that case?
So whether I create, I mean, obviously I'll face a competition when I reach to a stage which will have my 50% split coming from the international revenue. Currently, what we are ensuring is let's say we have hired a regional sales director for UAE. The number one job is to directly tap the end customers or the end users, right? In USA also, when we have hired a person, right, we make sure that we have an end customer directly coming to us. But at the same point of time, their other duty or a responsibility is along with him, there is one more person named Jaimin. He is a global channel partnerships alliances manager for us or head for us. He basically forged a lot of partnerships with the existing MSSPs in that region. So while we are setting up such a largest GCC, we are now going and telling other MSSPs that whatever is your current cost and current set of customers is what you are maintaining, you can actually outsource X amount of work to us even though they are a competition to us in that region, and we will execute those tasks for us as well. So the game plan for international is, one would be a direct customer reach through a sales, the presence which is already there. One would be through a partnerships, with OEM, with their partners, and getting their work to us as well. So that's how we are going to make sure to have the uh, lesser sales cycle and higher revenues coming from those regions as well. I'll give you one simple example. There's a company 247 Tech in Kenya, right? Is headed by the one of the Gujarati person as well, right? They have been having their own team sitting in Ahmedabad only and working for them. But what they were finding a challenging is the attrition, because the owner is sitting there, they're having somebody who is managing team over there, and the people were not staying, people were going, and they're finding a lot of challenge in delivering those government customers what they are serving in Kenya. Through our association, sir, we are now serving the Kenya Revenue Authority. We are serving Uganda government, and only because of the right partnerships is what we have forged. And that person is also happy because he's able to maintain his own margins. We are able to get business, and we're able to make sure to do our engineering to maintain our margins as well through our operational excellence model.
Okay, so next question is related to that. So, what is the percentage of revenue which is coming from Africa or Uganda? Can you just highlight,
सर
or
अभी
what
तो
will be
अभी
coming in future?
या सो इन H1 मैंने जैसे बोला कि H1 में हमारा टोटल स्प्लिट था 21% इज द इंटरनेशनल रेवेन्यू. व्हेन आई से इंटरनेशनल इट कवर्स केनिया और इट सेज USA, or it says the UAE itself, right? I do not have specific numbers coming from each of the region, which I'll
Got it.
definitely come back to you. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. The next question is from Mr. Vamsi. Uh, so right now the amount of orders which you are getting, those are smaller scale orders, right? So do you aspire to be a small scale focusing on small scale industries, or you would like to be focused on BFSI, who are the maximum spenders for cybersecurity?
So, sir, everybody's aspiration to always serve a larger customer where you have a lesser amount of, uh, sales cycle might be the same, right? But you have a higher revenues coming from the larger customer. So, our play would be larger government contracts and the larger BFSI customers is what we have. But while to make sure as a, the entrepreneur that my costs are needed to be recovered, right? Will still have a say for a small customers, those who will be paying our salaries and the other overhead cost as well, sir. I was serving SEBI regulated entities 2.5 years back. 60 से सर 120 हुआ, 120 से 180 हुआ, and right now there are more than 200 plus CB regulated customers we are already having by H2, sir. So sir, वो हमारे लिए cost एक निकाल देता है, तो we will still have a say, and we generally have a separate team, those who are 1 to 3 years of sales guys, के जिनको हम दिए जाता है कि SME को और उसको dominate करना है. So that is also going to be there in our revenue, but just to get our cost recovered from that revenue. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is related to the attrition rate. I'm not sure if you have that data. So if you can provide what is the
So the
attrition rate for
higher
uh,
amount of attrition rate is for the people who are beyond 3 years of experience, sir. No attrition rate till 3 years. इतना ज़्यादा attrition rate 0 to 3 years तक नहीं होता है. But then
mm,
higher amount of attrition rate is for people who are really experienced. Because in cyber, people get 100% high, 100% offers, which we are not able to definitely match. Yeah.
got it. Uh, so the next question is related to strategy. So it's from Mr. Mohit Motwani. So how easy or difficult it is for other companies or the other SI to replicate your business model or strategy, right? Like you're recruiting the talent pool directly from the universities and onboarding them for your own usage, right? So is it difficult or is it easy to replicate?
As I said, sir, training has been, I mean, I've been doing my training, or rather, I was a trainer from 2010 to 2017. So, has been, so if anybody wants to first, let's say, start a bachelor's and master's program in cybersecurity, getting AICT and UGC approval is the first task, right? If they're able to do it in a year time, I'm more than happy that they'll replicate it. If they're not able to do it, they won't be able to replicate it, right? Because we also had a some hard time back in 2020 to get such sort of approval for our own courses to run out of the universities itself. But 2021 was a blessings for us because the new education policy came. By the time they replicate, sir, let me put this things forward. The Cyber Valley concept, is a concept where, I mean, what is the need of such a large infrastructure? One would be obviously get right amount of people. So I'm creating an ecosystem कि मेरे यहाँ पे ही बंदा पड़ेगा, मेरे यहाँ पे ही काम करेगा, मेरे यहाँ पे ही वो इनोवेशन करेगा, रिसर्च करेगा, डेवलपमेंट करेगा, एवरीथिंग करेगा. Sir, I've been to Tel Aviv University in Israel. And if you look at the size of Israel, which is very small, but if you look at the highest amount of innovations in cybersecurity are only happening in Israel, and if they are only happening from Tel Aviv University itself. So we are not creating the right mindset ever. So I'm trying to make sure to create that right mindset. But obviously, TechD is a listed company. So all this mindset which I'm going to create, I'm going to retain some of the right or the brightest mindset and make sure that they take my company to another level as well. So by the time they create, I mean, we might have such sort of campuses and such sort of ecosystem set up in 5 different states itself. Now I'm going to different of the governments in MP also. I've recently signed up one MOU, which is not yet published, which is final sign is pending with the CRISP, which is a skill development institution in MP. So the final signature is pending, and the chief minister is the chairman for CRISP as well. Sir, I am asking them a space, right? So I'm asking them a space. I'm asking them infrastructure. I said I'll do all the other tasks, but you give me infrastructure, and this is what I want to create. And trust me, the government is very proactive nowadays. So by the time, as I said, they replicate the model, I might have 5 such campuses and 5 such ecosystem running in different states as well. So the speed at which we wanted to make sure to grow in terms of generating talent, service delivery, and everything, I believe it's unmatchable with respect to any other player in the market.
Okay. The next question is again from Mohit. So can you give a broader perspective of the market? What is the overall size of the cybersecurity market which you are targeting within India as well as globally?
See, global market is obviously a bigger market, which is $180 billion market, which is going to be by 2030. When it comes to Indian, the share of it, which is going to be around $30 billion to $40 billion. There are different figures and facts which are already having. Specifically, you ask about services and, the MSSP thing. It has a higher amount of share in that. When it comes to the major players, who are the major players? Are this big four are and Indian IT companies? Uh, so there are certain major players, those who are in the business for almost 20 years in the cyber right now, even in the services as well. But if you compare their revenue with our revenue, we are much faster than them as well, right? Big fours are obviously the major players because what they do is with the same sort of services, they also now started giving the cybersecurity services as well. And major growth will be from sir, international expansion will be a major growth for us, and that's where we have raised the funds to go global. So
Okay. And you already answered the question related to the international expansion and domestic growth. That you mentioned that it will be 50-50%, right? In the next few years. So
correct,
I
sir.
will skip that. Yeah. So the next question again from Mohit is, I mean, so if you are planning to expand in government, so will there any pressure on the margins, if it is?
I think, sir, that has already answered. I do not get into a deal which is just saying to sell a solutions in the government because that's where uh, I'll not be able to maintain the margins. And the OEMs, even nowadays, when it's a government project, it's not a exclusive manufacturing MF later given to one vendor, right? It is given to n number of vendors, right? So there is no good margins in selling the product to the government. As I said in my previous, the answer that I only get into those deals where there is a resource thing. So if they say that I need 190 resources, TechD will be able to provide at least 50% of them in that. Now, in that 50%, generally in my company, there is a rule which is, that should not work below 40%, or should not work below, the 50% if the margins and the resources are pretty low. So let's say in government of Gujarat, they've defined like L1, L2, L3. L1 is almost 70,000-80,000 rupees. So my person who will be working as L1 0 to 1 year will be at 35,000 rupees. I'll still have a higher margin to make out of that particular things as well. So yeah.
Yeah, got it. The last question will be from my side. So if I look at the cash flow for 25, we are seeing a receivables on the higher side.
Correct, sir.
So yeah, and so what are the reasons, and what will be the receivables which you are looking for FY 26 and beyond?
Sure, sir. So, sir, to answer your question, in FY 24-25, there's a good amount of revenue which was coming from SOC, if you have looked at our percentage of the revenue as well, and at the same point of time, some of the regulated sector. नाउ सेबी ने अपनी गाइडलाइन लाई थी जिसका डेडलाइन था सितंबर, सितंबर के बाद किया दिसंबर, दिसंबर के बाद किया उन्होंने अपना मार्च. सो मेरे जो जितने भी कस्टमर्स होते हैं उनका जो 50% बिलिंग होता है वो 50% बिलिंग वो बोलते हैं कि सनी the moment we receive our final certifications and upload it on all exchanges, we'll be releasing that particular payment in the month of March itself. So while we have raised the invoices in the month of March, they are obviously pending, by end of, the March itself, right? So that is the reason the receivables are on a higher side. अभी हमने क्या कर दिया है, अभी हमने ऐसा कर दिया है कि इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ आपका एक्सचेंज का ऑडिट कभी भी आता है, right? Because exchanges may, all this regulated customers, what they do is when they go to regulators and ask for extension on that. So irrespective of, even if they ask for extension, we are supposed to bill you and you are supposed to pay us. अब वो क्यों पे करेंगे, क्योंकि उनका तो काम खत्म नहीं हुआ है. तो हम लोगों ने थोड़ा डिस्काउंट देना चालू किया कि 2-3-4%, 5% का डिस्काउंट दे दो विद दिस स्मॉलर कस्टमर जिनका टिकट साइज 4-5 लाख रुपए के ज्यादा है. तो उनको डिस्काउंट मिलता है, साथ में उनको ट्रेनिंग सर्विसेज कोई 2-4 वैल्यू एडिशन हम करके देते कि हम आपको ये वैल्यू एडिशन कर रहे हैं बट आप अपना काम खत्म कर लो, बिकॉज टुमारो देयर इज अ न्यू सर्कुलर, देन यू विल हैव टू अगेन वर्क ऑन दैट. सो वी री वर्कड ऑन दैट. सेकंड, हमारा सॉक का जो था उसमें पूरा सोल्यूशन प्लस हमारा जो सर्विसेज था वो सब आता था, हमारा क्वार्टर में आता था या तो पर मंथ आता था या तो वो डिवाइड आता था. वाइल वी हैव टू पे द कॉस्ट टू आवर ओईएम ऑलवेज इन एडवांस. हमने ये सब चेंज कर दिया दैट वी हैव टेकन द लाइसेंस कॉस्ट इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ आप सॉक ले रहे हो कि वीएबीटी कर रहे हो, बट यू हैव टू गिव अ वल्नरेबिलिटी असेसमेंट का जो टूल है उसकी कॉस्ट प्लस इंप्लीमेंटेशन कॉस्ट हमें पहले देनी है, एंड देन सर्विस कॉस्ट जो है वो हमें क्वार्टरली एडवांस देनी है. सो ऑल दिस, you can say that the policy changes that we have done inside our organization, I will definitely see the debtor days will also come down and receivable days is also coming down from that. Coming to your question on tech infosec and competitors like this, because obviously there are only 3 listed companies in the cybersecurity in the market. They're more a product OEM. We are into the category of MSSP, but moving forward, we are going to be MSSP plus a product OEM. So that's going to be one of the biggest differentiator, at least in the listed market for any cybersecurity company to have. Yeah.
Yes, and for data days, I also want to mention one thing that there are many good POs and values we have received in last 15 to 20 days of the September. So we built that amount, but we received the payment on month of October or maybe first of November, first week of November. So that's why that is standing on outstanding in September, but we have received payment in the October. So with that effect will be you will see in second quarter.
So you mean to say the receivable which are there, you saw in 2025, so the picture will be different in 2026. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
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 Okay, got it. The next question is from Mr. Viraj Shah. You have mentioned that you would like to reach your target of around 900 CR by 2030. So we extrapolate that number, so it gives around 80% CAGR. So are we reading it correct, or do you feel that that is the growth rate which which you can do and which can expect in cybersecurity and for your company?
सो नित्यानंद जी, हमने इसके पहले भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछा कि अगर हम 100 million का रेवेन्यू करेंगे तो व्हाट इज द स्प्लिट बिटवीन द ऑर्गेनिक एंड इनऑर्गेनिक ऑन दैट पार्ट, राइट? इफ आई सेड ऑर्गेनिक, द करंट रेट एट विच वी आर ग्रोइंग right? It will be around 400, on that part. The rest other will come from acquisitions, the rest other will come from the product, and rest other will come from other services acquisition, the strategic acquisitions, which we are also going to do in the coming time. See, हमारा benefit क्या है कि we are having that operational excellence model and 2:4 model, यानी 2 full time 4 interns का जो हमारा मॉडल चल रहा है और जो मॉडल से हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. I feel there are so many MSSPs across India, those who are actually challenging, or system integrators who are having a lot of challenges with the margin, but they have a right customer base, right? What we are looking at right now, apart from product companies, we are also searching on, evaluating certain of the services company also, those who has got a good revenue, right? But they do not have much of a margin and maybe at 15% or 20% of the margin. We are first trying to do a DD and then ensure that अगर वो कंपनी के अंदर अच्छे कस्टमर्स हैं जहाँ पे हम अपसेल क्रॉस सेल सर्विसेज कर सकते हैं, we will acquire them, and have some inorganic revenue from that company. Make sure to restructure them, right? Because you have to restructure to make sure that you'll have to have a profit margin, right? And achieve the same sort of a margin on that. So that's how it's going to be, organic, inorganic, both. But yeah, definitely you read it correctly, 80% CAGR, sir. But it cannot happen only organic. With product and with some strategic M&A, will be able to achieve that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sunny, for all the insights which you have provided. I think there are no further questions as such on the chat as well. So if there are any final comments which you would like to provide, or Mr. Kileshwar, you can say it. Yeah.
See, I can only say one thing. We are in the cybersecurity is not the future anymore. It is the present, and the way at which the whole industry is evolving and the way at which it is going to explode in the coming time is going to be unmatchable, in the coming time. We're at a right time, at a right place, listed at a right time, and making sure that we take a company to a next level. Our team is very young. I'm just 37 right now. So I have still a lot to do in my own life and make sure to, achieve my vision and save a lot of investors' interest as well at the same point of time, right? So have a trust in our vision, have a trust in our mission, and make sure to take India at a global level and make India a powerhouse of cybersecurity in the coming time as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sunny. Thank you, Mr. Kileshwar. Thank you, all the team for joining the call. Yeah, we'll
Thank you.
wrap up.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.